Hey all, Amanda here with your full recap of American Ninja Warrior Season 15, Episode 5, Round 6. This episode saw the return of some old fan favorites, as well as some literal baby faces, and as always, it was a joy to watch. The 6 obstacles for Round 6 included the pole vault, roller coaster, domino effect, the getaway, lasso launch, and the warped wall. Again, this season, athletes must hit a buzzer in under 1 minute 20 seconds to earn their shot at scaling the 18.5-foot mega wall. If successful, they will win $10,000. As for the competition itself, the Papal Ninja returned with a pilot's license and flew through the course. Sean Bryan only got slightly hung up on the lasso launch, but was able to be the only athlete tonight to hit a buzzer in time to earn a shot at the mega wall. He took first place on the leaderboards with a time of 1:14.01, but came up just short of getting the 10K. 17-year-old Josiah Papel returned, and though he had a great run, he just missed out on his chance at the mega wall. He made it through the course easily, but got too hung up on the backwards transfer on lasso launch. He was able to hit a buzzer, but was just shortly over time, taking second place with a time of 1:22.45. 18-year-old Jonathan Godbout returned and was smooth throughout the entire course. A drummer in a speed metal band, Jonathan was the only other athlete to hit a buzzer tonight, taking third place on the leaderboards with a time of 1:40.65. Another one of my favorites, the weatherman Joe Moravsky returned and was definitely running for time. I know he had considered retirement after some slight mistakes as of late, and though I was thrilled to see him run again, I was a little nervous watching. Joe may have rushed too much during lasso launch and missed the backwards lâché, hitting the water. He was able to take fourth place on the leaderboards and will be advancing to the semifinals. Matt D'Amico returned for his second year, as his performance last year during his rookie run saw him take the second fastest time of the night, as well as an attempt at the mega wall. But like last year, his run was digested again this season. He too missed the backwards lâché on lasso launch, but was able to take fifth place on the leaderboards. It was a pleasure to see OG Ninja David Campbell return, although his run was digested. The Godfather was about to make his final lâché on lasso launch before dismounting, but his rope just slipped off the ledge of the middle cow, sending him to the water. David took sixth place. Abraham Hayek returned for his second season, where his run last year was completely cut from airing. Apparently, he went out on domino effect last year, but was able to redeem himself tonight. Although his run was digested this time, he was able to make it to lasso launch, where he, like so many others, missed the backwards lâché. Ibrahim sits in 7th place. I believe Austin Barron is a rookie, whose debut run was digested. He came close to completing the course, but just missed the last lâché on lasso launch and hit his face on the landing pad. Austin takes 8th place on the leaderboards. Alex Goodwin returned for his second season, only to have his run digested. He had a close call on domino effect, but was able to recover and make it all the way to getaway, where his hands just slipped off the money bag. Alex sits in 9th place. Captain NBC returned with a new addition to his family. Jamie Run entered the arena with a green wig-clad baby Ziggy, and it was absolutely adorable. Jamie may have been rushing for time, as he missed hooking the ring on getaway and surprisingly hit the water. This was the first time Jamie had fallen in a qualifier since Season 2. Jamie took 10th place and is heading to the semifinals. Country star Crystal Gale's cousin, Nate Tuckett, returned to compete, though his run was digested. Nate too had his hand slip off the money bag on getaway, but did manage to secure 11th position. Officer John Yuga started his run with a close call on pole vault, but then sped to the getaway, where his hands too slipped off the money bag, sending him to the water below, as well as to the runoffs. Visual effects artist Daniel Navarro started his runoff by smashing his face hard against the pole and pole vault. He managed to get through roller coaster, but got tripped up on domino effect and hit the water. He did make it there fast enough to take the 13th and final spot on the leaderboard, sending him to the runoffs. The 4 obstacles that made up this round's runoffs included home run, spring forward, beehive, and hopscotch. It was back and forth in the men's runoffs, where John took an early lead through home run, but Daniel closed the gap through spring forward. John was first to make it to beehive, but again, Daniel was right on his heels. John started hopscotch and had a great save when one hand fell off the second pair of boards, but he was able to recover and make it to the last set of boards before he missed and hit the water. Unfortunately, Daniel fell in almost the same spot, and since John got there faster, John advances to the semifinals, and Daniel's season is over. As for the women, 1/3 of the Jersey girls, Abby Clark took first place on the leaderboards, but still had her run digested. She made it all the way to lasso launch before she missed the backwards lâché and hit the water. Another of the Jersey girl trio, Rachel Degatz, took second place on the women's leaderboard. She had a slight stumble crossing domino effect and got a little hung up crossing lasso launch, where she landed the first 2 lâchés, but her hand started sliding down the rope and she missed the final lâché and ended up hitting her upper body and face against the landing platform. And in one of my favorite moments so far this year, Michelle Warnke-Burma returned after taking off last year to start a family. I was then brought to tears upon hearing about baby Grace's struggle to survive. Michelle was looking strong on her return, but unfortunately got tripped up on domino effect, and though she tried to recover, the last board flipped 180 degrees, sending her to the water. Luckily, she got there fast enough to secure her spot in the semifinals, taking 3rd place on the leaderboards. I'm so happy to see her back. Personal trainer Amy Harsky took 4th place, and 4-time vet Brittany Durant took 5th place. Both women had their runs cut, where apparently they both went out on roller coaster. Though Brittany hit the course first, Amy hopped past her, but maybe a little too quickly, as Amy hit the last base too low, and her foot splashed through the water, ending her season. Brittany continued to try to complete the course, and we saw that she at least finished the beehive before the run was cut. I will assume she did not hit a buzzer. Other competitors that ran but did not advance include Andy Friedman, Logan Broadbent, Nick Rowleaf, and David Fleming, all who went out on domino effect, and Jensen Little, Parker Hurley, and Laura Erickson, who all went out on roller coaster. It looks like 3 other men and 2 other women competed, but had their runs completely cut from airing. I thought this was a really fun episode, and I love seeing some old faces return. We should have a few more qualifying episodes before we move on to the semifinals, so make sure not to miss any of the action. Check out American Ninja Warrior every Monday night this summer, only on NBC. Then remember to check back here shortly after airing for your full recap with a few theories thrown in just for fun. And if you'd like to play along, please feel free to comment below on what you think of the season so far and who you want to see take it all this season on American Ninja Warrior Season 15. So until next time, enjoy the show!